been an awakening. I am not a storyteller, for I am an adventurer, and this is neither the beginning or the end of my story. But here is where this story begins. An adventurer's very first steps into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. It started how any adventure started. In a tavern with no name. In a village in the middle of nowhere. Little were we to know that tonight our first adventure was to begin. My first adventure. Summer was drawing in, but the lands were no longer bright. Not for barbarians, at least. It was a dark time. Rumours had been circling around the village of No Name that brave and honourable barbarians, if there is such a thing, were going missing. This is what drew many to this town, including our stalwart adventurers. It was late and the tavern was dimly lit. There was no name above the roaring fire on the mantel, but a throng of locals crowded the tavern, thirsty after a hard day's work, spending the few coppers which they had earned that day. But mixed in with these were some new faces. In one corner was Dane Wolftail, a stalwart dwarf ranger who had lost his family to an orc raid years prior, the only survivors himself and his brother. After many years of solace in the woods, Dane awoke one day to find his brother missing, drag marks leading off to the east. Through days of travelling, following his tracks, Dane stumbled across the village in the middle of nowhere, and now we find him in the tavern of No Name. Sat at the bar, sullen as always, we have the half-orc, half-human barbarian, Bjorn Afterblade. Bjorn's mother, though orc, had fallen in love with a human warrior. From this brief romance, Bjorn was born. Upon the tribe discovering he was not full orc though, he was cast out and his mother murdered in shame. He had to fend for himself for much of his life before taking up the ways of a barbarian. Strong and resolute, but utterly lazy, Bjorn found comfort in death, ale, and women. But however lazy Bjorn believes himself to be, one thing he was honourable. And through whispers he heard of the missing barbarians. He knew he had to solve this mystery as he could not let his fellow brothers continue to go missing. Next to Bjorn we find Legna Rekra, a beautiful young wood elf who had lost her village and family at a young age as they were burned to the ground. Legna though was lucky. As she clung to life, she was taken by those who had destroyed her world. After being brought back to full health to be sold into slavery, Legna, still believing her family to be alive and unwilling to lose hope, fashioned her escape. This led her to the middle of nowhere. From here she found herself travelling the cities searching for her missing family, with a kind creature taking her under their wing. Literally in this case. Unfortunately, after the death of her mentor, Legna found herself learning to survive, fending for herself. It was here she found her closest friend and companion, a mouse by the name of Cheese. Legna, though resilient, is for a lack of a better word, a little bit dipsy, believed to be from the smoke she inhaled and the bark she smoked on the road to becoming a druid. You will often find Legna wandering through the world in a happy dream, one that brought her here to the Tavern of No Name. Next we have the one and only Riv Tinker Sprocketop. Riv, or Tinker to her friends, sat on the bar itself, legs crossed, waiting for the Arc barman Orkinson and his tavern girl Wizelda to turn their backs so she can jump behind and help herself to the snacks. For you see, Riv is a gnome. And not just a gnome, but the cheekiest gnome in the world of... oh, God. Well, in the world of No Name too, I suppose. As the middle child and an adventurous little gnome, Riv grew bored with her mundane village life. She wanted to see the world. During her travels, she met the thief known as Darian Soma. More importantly, Darian met Riv. In her, she saw potential. A thief in the making. Combined with her mentor's training and Riv's cheeky nature, not only did she become a thief, but a trickster and a prankster, loving to play funny pranks on her confused victims. She would do this by removing a pocket watch and leaving a rock in its place, or by sneaking into a victim's room and taking their clothes and nothing else. A sneak, a trickster, a rogue. But alas, same as many, Darian just disappeared. Riv believed she was taken. No coincidence though that a thief goes missing and took all of Tinker's acquired gold. Riv though knew better. She knew she wouldn't take from her, of all people. So she set off to find them. And this brings us to the wee man himself, though I dare say you wouldn't say that to his face. Halloween Highhill, the greatest chef in all the land. Well, so he believes. For you see, Halloween is a halfling. But not just a halfling, a connoisseur of good food and a love for adventure. Did I also mention he was a wizard? A gentle soul with a heart like no other, all Halloween wanted from life was to cook and to be the greatest chef of all time. Opening his own tavern and cooking the greatest food for the world to admire. Going from city to city, he learnt his trade like no other. Picking up tricks along the way, he soon realised by combining his cooking ability with magic, he could truly be the greatest chef of all. His adventures took him across the known world of No Name, bringing him to the village in the middle of nowhere and to the tavern of No Name. For you see, rumours have been told of a magic sausage recipe he needed to try. Sat at the far side of the bar is a tall dwarf. Well, tall for a dwarf at least. Holding the ale of his people, here we have Melkor Iggulnen, first of his name, son of Mortar Iggulnen of the Sons of the Iron Clan. Melkor is also a barbarian, brought here through whispers, for you see Melkor has nothing else left in this world. After years of fighting in the barbarian wars, leading his soldiers to victory after victory, and only after seeing the death of thousands and victory was achieved, all he wanted was to return home to his clan, to his wife and his child. But alas, upon his return all he found was ash, a world destroyed years prior. How many years had gone by? 5, 10, 20? He no longer knew. He no longer cared. He only had one family now, his brother barbarians, and damned would he be if he let any more disappear into the night. And lastly, we have Henrek Firebeard. Oh, Henrek. Henrek too was a barbarian. He was a stalwart human of the Firebeards clan. Young and eager to prove his worth, he too fought in the barbarian wars, shield to shield with his brothers. He lost many brothers during the wars, but now the wars are over. All he wants now is peace. Peace and ale, that is. Huzzah! After returning home to the Firebeard clan, he soon became unsettled. He was still young and bored. A poor combination. It was here he had heard of the missing barbarians. Here we go, he thought. Time for some fun. Drawing his family war axe once more, the young-ish man headed to the middle of nowhere. It is here our 7 adventurers. Damn, that's a large number for an adventure. Enjoy a drink. We find Henrek stumbling through the door, already drunk. He shouts, "Are there any orcs needed killing near here?" The bar goes quiet and all just stare at Henrek. "No then? Okay," Henrek calls before slowly walking, stumbling to the bar in his already intoxicated state. He asks for the strongest ale in the tavern and some sausages too, at which Green Hand slams down the thick liquid and a plate of 10 rather grey sausages. Looking up, he sees a 6-foot-plus tall orc staring down at him. Sorry about that. Here, keep the change, old boy," as he slaps the orc on the shoulder. As the barman grunts and turns away, the tavern door swings open, and in walks, you guessed it, another orc. At this, young Henrek slumps into the corner with his ale and sausages, hoping not to be seen. The nearly 7-foot orc walks into the tavern and looks around, smiles broadly and walks straight over to Dane Wolftail. With a smile, the orc claps Dane on his shoulder and bellows, "Ah, my brother barbarian, I come here seeking aid for our kind. As I'm sure you are aware, many of our brethren have gone missing in these lands. I'm looking for fellow barbarians to join me in my journey. Will you assist me? I am willing to pay a hefty reward." At this, Dane starts to laugh uncontrollably, a hearty and belly-warming laugh. Good Orc, I am no barbarian. I am a ranger and a brewmaster. Well, one day I will be anyway. I am here searching for the best ale in the world. Well, no, that's not actually true. I'm also searching for my brother. But if you would have me, I will help you search for these missing barbarians, for I may find my brother as well. With a smile, the Orc holds out his ham-sized hand. Welcome to our journey. I am Helmet Halfhand, and you are? I am Dane Wolftail. With a grin, Helmet roars, are there any other brave adventurers who will join us this day? From the bar, a loud voice shouts, I am Bjorn Afterblade. I had heard rumours that our brethren were indeed going missing, and it saddens me that you bring this news, but it is also why I am here. I could not and will not let our fellow brothers keep going missing. I will join you in this. And I am Melkor Iggulnen, first of his name, son of Mortar Iggulnen of the Sons of the Iron Clan. I am too a barbarian, and I have heard whispers of our kind vanishing in the night. I am aged and weary. I have fought too many wars, but alas, I will take up my axe one more time. The Barbarian Brotherhood is my only family now. I will not see any more harm come to us. With this, Melkor rises to his feet and walks over to both Helmet and Bjorn before embracing them as brothers. Henrik, not wanting to miss out, runs in from the corner. Brother Barbarians! For it is adventure I seek. I will join you on the journey for our missing brothers. I am Henrik Fireblade. How much did you say we would earn? Helmet, is it? Here, have a sausage, he says, holding out his plate to the fellow barbarians. Ha! Welcome, brothers. I see it will not take us long till we find our brethren, but I still see many faces here I have not seen before. Will any of you join us in this? I am willing to pay 10 gold coins for any who help us. At hearing this, the gnome known as Riv Tinker Sprocketop leaps upon to the bar she was sat upon and shouts, Here I am! I may be small, but I'll be the greatest barbarian of them all! Then as the bar erupts in laughter, Riv jumps from the bar and heads straight to the merriment of barbarians. As she does, Melkor picks her up. Aye, you are small, even compared to us dwarfs. As the group begins to laugh. But you have a big heart, it would seem. I'm no witch, but I can see a person's true heart, and I'd be proud to fight alongside you, he proclaims. Aye, me too, chimes in Bjorn as they all laugh. That settles it, little one, proclaimed Halfhand. An honourable barbarian you are. What is your name? I am Riv Tinker Sprocketop. Riv or Tinker to my friends. Welcome, Riv. Is there anyone else? Prancing over to join the growing company, looking under all the tables as she goes, we find Alegna. Aha! For my name is Alegna, hee hee! I may not be strong to wield an axe, but I can track as good as any, and my bow is as deadly as I am at catching men. I will join you on this quest, for I too have lost those dear to me, she hums as she prances around the group. Welcome, Alegna, to our growing company. I never expected to find so many. Alas, is there any more who shall join us, roared Helmet. Knowing something magical was growing in the air, not just the smell from Henrik's sausages, Halamine knew this was something he could not miss. Good adventurers, hear me. I am Halamine Highhill. I too am an adventurer, and a great and powerful wizard to boot. At last one day I shall. If you will have me, I will join this growing company, and make you some of the finest meals on our travels. I came here in search of magical recipes, as I was told there was no better sausages in all the land. Alas, after seeing what lies upon that plate there, he proclaims, pointing at Henrik's sausages, my adventures must continue. So I say, will you have me? Ha! You are a stalwart adventure, and I like that in you. Of course you can join us, laughed Helmet. What is wrong with my sausages? Proclaimed Henrik as he took another bite. This time, though, the taste and smell of decay was too much, and he bent over to wrench what was left of the sausages and at least 3 ales over the tavern floor. That's a no, then, he groaned sheepishly. It is here the 8 adventurers sat in the Tavern of No Name, in the middle of nowhere, celebrating their new party. As each party member was to be awarded 10 gold for their help, celebrations began in earnest. The party drank long and deep. No more than Henrik, who by all accounts had downed a solid 39 pints, more than double anyone else that night. It is here the party retired for the evening, set to head on their journey come dawn. Helmut had been generous to his word and paid for rooms for the adventurers that night. He, though, preferring to stay under the stars. "So, my friends, we meet here at dawn," proclaimed Helmut before all the adventurers retired for the night. This was part 1 of my first ever adventure into Dungeons & Dragons. I've turned our adventure through Roll20 into a mini story, and I really hope you enjoy it. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you don't want to miss part 2, then please also hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you don't miss part 2. Episode 1 that we are currently halfway through was a 3-hour session on Roll20. So if you enjoyed the first half, then believe me, the next half you will absolutely love. Talk about derailing the DM mere moments into an adventure. Take care, I'll see you all in the next one.